Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. So, I have taken on two creative challenges as of last week. The first one is the 100-day challenge. I'll link the website below, but basically it's 100 days and every day you do something creative that you enjoy doing. So for me, I'm writing. I'm trying to get myself back into the habit of writing every day. So right now, I'm writing one full page a day. And so far, it's one collective story because I have this idea that's been churning for a few years and I've never forced myself to sit down and do it. Now, the other one, though, is called the time lapse challenge. So this was an elective challenge, a Facebook group I'm a part of called the Vlogging Crew. A gentleman by the name of Robert. He runs Viking Creative Studios on YouTube. I'll link his YouTube channel down below. He asked if anybody wanted to do a creative challenge, but the thing was he wouldn't tell you what the creative challenge was until you accepted it. So he posted a video. It's called the 7-Day Time Lapse Challenge. And so he very kindly nominated me, and I accepted. Now the thing is basically for 7 days, you create this time lapse. So I've done 3 days so far. I'm going to upload all 3 of those in this video and kind of go over what I did to create them. So, but first I'm going to show you the 2 types of cameras I used to create the time lapse videos and how I created them, and how each one's different. So, most of you know I have a Canon G7X Mark II. That beauty comes with this cool little function that you can set a recording mode to be a time-lapse video mode. And that's awesome. It works great. The only stipulation with those is it's got 3 modes, and it takes a picture either every, 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 seconds, all the way up to 10 seconds. It'll take a picture every one of those intervals, and then you can set it up and tell it how long you want it to run for. If you want it to get 300 photos, 700 photos, and it'll tell you how long the camera has to stay where it's at to create that. Now, the other camera I have is a Nikon Coolpix P520. So it's a fixed lens, kind of DSLR camera. So that's this one here. Again, it's fixed lens. It's when I first started, I wanted a big camera to do some of my recording with. The video recording of it's going out, but it still takes good pictures, so I'm keeping it around. I do kind of want to invest in another DSLR, but I think I'm going to go towards a drone instead, but that's neither here nor there. And then, of course, we've got this lovely guy. This is just the Canon G7X. I also will sometimes record with this here, which is my my S8. It's got good video quality, it's got good lighting. It does okay in low light, whereas the G7X does a lot better, and the Coolpix doesn't do very well at all. So I'm going to flip you around and show you the 2 settings on these cameras and how I set them up to do the time-lapse. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is turn your dial here to where it's showing the record setting, and then you're going to go ahead and hit menu, and it's going to bring this up, and you're going to want to go to record mode, which is in the first section of the record mode setting, and then you're just going to hit OK, and then basically you can select standard, short clips, manual, which is you set up the manual settings. It's got an iframe movie, which works best, I believe, with iMovie, and then time lapse. So you just scroll over to time lapse, hit OK, and you're going to hit OK. Now, once that's set up, the way you're going to set up your time lapse information is your circular piece here. You're going to press over to the right, and that brings up this menu. So they give you 2 or 3 scenarios. Sorry, they give you 3. So there's this one for shooting subjects that are walking, or moving subjects like walking people. This is mainly for slow, like clouds, and this is where scenes change. So what I did for the one I used this one on was I went to scene 2 because I used it at the beach, and you hit OK, and then it gives you kind of a scenario set up. So once you select your scene, then you can go to your interval shots, and then, like I said, you can have it take a picture every second. In scene 2, it only goes to 5 seconds, and it goes all the way to 10 seconds. Tell it you want the number of shots. So 330 shots is going to take me 55 minutes, and it's going to give me 13 seconds of playback time. 360 shots is going to take me an hour and give me 14 seconds of playback time. And as you can see, it goes on up. So once you set that, you just go ahead and hit OK, and then hit menu to back all the way on out. Now you can set it up so that the exposure changes with each shot. I usually lock it onto the first shot because I set up the aperture and stuff so that it picks up the subject that I'm shooting. So anyways, back on out. And then you have the option to review each image, but honestly, unless you're going to stand there for an hour and stare at the back of it, there's no sense. So you want to disable it. Back on the way out. Now, with my Coolpix, you would hit the shutter button, not the record button. With the G7X, in order to set this up and get it going, you hit the record button, it takes its first photo, the screen goes black, and that's it. Now, if you want to review where you're at in the process, if you just lightly tap your shutter button while it's doing it, it will tell you how many is on there. So set this up, hit record, so it's doing the time lapse now, taking a picture about every 10 seconds, lightly tap, and see it tells me it's taken one shot out of my 450 shots, and that kind of gives me an idea of where I'm at. So that's the G7X, and that's how you set up time lapse with these. I gotta clean this guy because he was at the beach today. Now, so in order to set this up for a time lapse, you go ahead and turn it on. What I do like about this is I can move the screen out. So to set this one up, you do go to manual, and then there's this FN button here. So if you press the FN button, it's going to bring up this screen, and then you want to navigate with your panel to where it tells you the interval timer shooting. So this guy will do 30 seconds. Doesn't stay very long. 30 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, and 10 minutes. I've left this one at 1 minute for all three that I've shot with it. So the first one I'm going to show you will be our beta bowl. That was shot 1 minute for an hour, and then I colored my wife's hair, used the same setting, the 1 minute. Now I did have to adjust this manually because it is on manual. I do have to adjust the settings some so that it picks up proper lighting. Otherwise, it's either going to be too bright or too dark. So you do have to take your first picture and review it to make sure. Now, every time this one takes a picture, it's going to review it. I haven't even really looked to see where the option is to turn off the review, but I don't mind this one as much. So now with this one, every time it takes the picture, you hear the shutter sound as if the picture's taken, whereas the G7X doesn't make that sound. So that's the Coolpix and how you set it up. So then once you get all your settings, all you do is press this button. It takes its first photo, and how you know it's still going is this little light here around the on-off switch will blink. And that basically means it's kind of in a standby mode until the 1 minute passes, and then it takes its next picture. So now, one of the unique things about a time lapse is, like I was saying, it takes an hour or so to get at about anywhere from 2 to 14-second video. So with the Coolpix, taking a photo every minute for an hour, that's 60 photos. It's only about 2 seconds worth of footage. So the one of the beta bowl that I'm going to show you right now, this particular one was done again at 1 minute. I think I let it run for about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. And then this footage has been duplicated a couple of times just so it kind of lasts a little bit longer than 2 seconds. So as you can see the light change in the background. You can see the reflection on the bowl kind of dim and brighten a little bit, and it's just basically our betta fish swimming around, the bubbles in the top. I just thought this would be a cool first one to do to test out the Coolpix and how it works. So the second one that I did, again, like I said, I helped my wife color her hair, and I just thought that would be a cool subject. It didn't really dawn on me that taking a picture every minute wasn't going to work because we were moving so much. On top of that, you have to take certain breaks in between for her to wash out the color and stuff, or the bleach or whatever you use to do her hair. So that was a bit of a change for it. And so, but that's this one right here. And as you can see, it's not very long. I didn't duplicate any of the footage. This is just 3 sessions where we bleached it, colored it, and then put the final touches on it. So that, again, like I said, that's not a very long video, but that's about an hour and a half worth of time-lapse footage. So the next one I'm going to show you is the time-lapse from the beach today that I used with the Coolpix. So again, the Coolpix was a shot every minute for an hour, And as you can see, there's a lot of movement here. This has been duplicated because it only ended up giving me about 3 seconds worth of footage, so it kind of repeats itself. And now this one was shot with the G7X every 10 seconds for an hour. I got 360 pictures, and this is what it looks like here. So again, the thing about time lapses is they are time consuming. You have to get where you're going, set up your shot, and it's got to run for an hour to get the proper footage that you're looking for from a time lapse video. So these are my first 3. Yes, there are 4 time lapses, but the third one I did with both cameras just to kind of see how they turned out. The G7X did a lot better job as far as ease of use and getting a really decent time lapse. I kind of wish that you could extend it and maybe do 30 seconds to a minute and see how they compare as far as quality of the shots and stuff. But again, the G7X, it's designed to be as user-friendly and easy as possible, and the DSLR cameras are meant for you to really get into the camera and understand the camera and see, you know, what all it can do. So these are my first 3 so far. I really want to thank Robert for kind of throwing that challenge out there. It was fun to do. I've got 4 more to do. I was going to say 3. I got 4 more to do. And I'll probably post those at the end of the week. That just gives me time between work and stuff to film them and figure out what I want to do. Yes, the beach is cool, but it's kind of overdone. The one with the fish, I've never seen that done. That was me being silly. And the one with my wife, of course, that's never been done because only my crazy butt would decide that's a good subject for the time lapse. So I hope you guys enjoyed these 4 time lapses that I've done so far. Let me know which one you liked more. Hope you guys enjoyed them. I love you guys. Till tomorrow.